Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Catch Your Press. Yes, it's the weekend again and a lot of games to be played across Europe. And I'll be focusing on games that will be played in Italy. Of course, we'll be starting looking at the big teams in Italy and how they'll be performing in the games. And of course, there are games that were played across the week. Juventus, who played a wonderful Turin derby against Torino. And yeah, we saw the return of Paul Pogba. Wow, Juventus are in a hot streak form right now. They've had like four straight victories in Italy and in the Europa League as well. So there's a lot happening for Juventus right now. The team is beginning to click, and Allegri is beginning to have a grip on the team. A lot of cohesion for the team. Looking how they were able to come back and have a very convincing victory against Torino speaks well about how Juventus have progressed so far. Yes, there might be like some downtimes during the start of the season, but right now Juventus, I think they are beginning to have a hold on their identity, and then they are beginning to play like the side we all know from Allegri, very compact, very direct, and Juventus, and we also want to give kudos to the defensive partnership of Brema and Danilo and Alexandro. The team is beginning to feel like they have like a good base, a solid base to move with for the future and then for next season. Yeah, Allegri, tactically, there's been a lot of inputs to the team, a lot of new faces, a lot of young Italian vibrant players who bring a lot of dynamism to the team, and of course the attacking duo of Di Maria, of Vlahovic, Chiesa, and the rest of them. We know like how good this Juventus team can be when everyone is fit and healthy. Yeah, and then of course we know the input of Kostic. Kostic has been very instrumental for Juventus this season. That's why the up and down start of the season for Juventus, Kostic has always been present, very consistent, and produced a lot of assists, combining well with Di Maria and with all the other Juventus offensive duo. I think this Juventus team, we're going to see the best of Juventus teams come next season. And yes, the Europa League, they are still in the Europa League. You never know. They could go all the way in the Europa League. So I think it's a positive time for Juventus and for football lovers in Italy. I'm sure they will begin to see the Juventus that we all know that dominated Italy for the previous decade. And I think this Juventus have the ability to start off like a new circle. And Allegri, there's no other coach than Allegri who understands the system. Yeah, there might be a lot of points deducted from Juventus, but it seems Juventus, they are still up there trying to fight it out to make it to the top four. And I feel Juventus, if they continue in this same momentum, we might see them making the top four. And of course, the upset of the past weekend was Roma losing to Cremonese. I think that no one saw that coming, but this has been the issue with Roma. Roma too have some kind of inconsistency when it comes to their league campaign. Yeah, Mourinho also got sent off during the game. I think this is a whole lot of issue for Roma because Mourinho has been the coach who have had the most sent off this season, more than players who play the game that get sent off. I think it's a cause for worry for Roma and the team. They always try to. Sometimes they play good games, they come up with the result, and then there are times where the lack of concentration, and then they slip off the pecking order when it comes to teams fighting for the top four position. Each time there's always this up and down season with Roma. I don't know how this is going to be fixed, and of course, but we know like a Roma on form, they are always a very tough side to play against. But kudos to Cremonese for getting the win. A good one for them, their first win of the campaign. Oh wow, it was a special night for them. I'm sure they were very happy, and the fans have something to cheer about. We don't know if it's going to still be good enough for them to give a final push to escape relegation. And then across earlier today, Napoli played their game, their league game against Lazio, which is just the first game of the weekend. They played against Lazio, and oh man, it was a shocker. Lazio, the second team to hand Napoli their second defeat of the season. No one saw that coming at all. No one saw that coming. But of course, we all know that Lazio is side that can cause problems to anyone, to any team in Europe. Sorry, any team in Italy. But yeah, Lazio, they did a good job. They did a good job with Vecino scoring the only goal. What a wonderful goal it was! A bullet from Vecino. Well, I feel Napoli, yeah, they can afford to like take it cool, easy. But because I think the league is way concluded with them. But yeah, I'm sure Spalletti might be disappointed because he want this team to keep winning and keep going with having the momentum that is going to see them through and transitioning that to the Champions League, where a lot is expected from Napoli at this stage right now because it seems they are like the hottest team in Italy and to an extent in Europe, if you say that. Yeah, these are games that were played and just played so far this week, and we'll be looking at the games that will be played this weekend too. We're looking at AC Milan squaring up against Fiorentina. That promises to be a wonderful game. I see a wonderful game over there. And then there's the big one, Juventus versus Roma, the two teams who played earlier this week. They'll be playing again, having a game, a head-to-head, the top 4 head-to-head fixture. I feel Juventus, they're in a hot streak form right now, and they're playing against Roma, who might be having a low moment with the loss to Cremonese. That should be like a top game. But we all know that when it comes to Juventus and Roma, it's always a tough game for both teams. AC Milan, Fiorentina, just as I said earlier, that's also going to be a tough one. And it has never been easy for AC Milan going to the Atemo Franchi to play against Fiorentina. Fiorentina at home, they are very, very good, very strong, very convincing when they play at home. And they had a very good away victory against Verona this past weekend. And if they could bring that form and momentum to the game against AC Milan, I'm sure it's going to be a hard-fought game for AC Milan too, and for Fiorentina as well, because AC Milan too, they are up there when it comes to form. I think they are like the hottest team right now because in Italy, in terms of form, they've had like 4 straight victories, not conceding a goal. I think the defense is holding strong and bringing that to the game against Fiorentina. I think Fiorentina is a good test for AC Milan for the defense to see how they go. And then we'll be looking at the other fixtures. Inter Milan playing against Lecce. Inter Milan, they had a loss this past weekend. I'm sure they want to like correct the mistake. Playing at home against Lecce, like in front of the fans. I'm sure Inter will be fancying their chance getting the 3 points against Lecce. Overall, these are games, and then we look at the Atalanta game against Udinese. All these are headers of games that will determine the top 4 position. I feel these fixtures will kind of give an understanding of teams that are really into making it to the top 4. For Lazio, who just won earlier today, I'm sure it's going to be a good one for them in their push for top 4. Also, overall, the teams in Italy, the top 4 position is really very intense right now, and then a whole lot of competition for who's going to make it to the top 4. I personally feel like AC Milan and Inter Milan still have a lot of advantage of making it to the top 4, and then with teams like Roma, teams like Atalanta, always dropping points here and there. I think Juventus, you never know, they might push and make it. I for one still feel Juventus have a chance of bridging that gap and seeing through to making it to the top 4. It promises to be a wonderful weekend of games in Italy. We'll be looking forward to those games and seeing how things pan out. But I'll be ending it here for now. If you like the video, I encourage you to like, subscribe, and share with friends. Until next time, bye for now.